Good evening, everybody. Myself, Teshwini PG, Department of Botany, Veershava College, Ballari. Today, I am dealing with the second semester topic Pinus, Morphology, Structure, and Reproduction. So, in the gymnosperms, we already seen about the cycus, and now we will see about the Pinus. So, here Pinus are belonging to the Coniferaceae member. Pinus is a gymnosperm plant and it is included in the family Pinaceae and the order Coryphorelaceae. They can grow up to 80 to 260 feet meters in height. The tallest pine tree is Podoros pine, which can grow about 81.79 meters or 268.35 feet tall. Previously in the class, I have told about the Sequoia Dendrodon giganteum. That is one of the pinus which is tallest. They are long-lived plant and can live up to 1,000 years or more under favorable conditions. And these coniferals are dominant forest makers of the world. And this pinus is being distributed worldwide and mainly in the northern hemisphere, and in the temperate regions also we are finding this pinus. In tropics they are growing in hilly stations also, and around 120 species have been recorded so far throughout the world about the pinus. They are widely distributed in the hills, as I told you before, and have economic value because many pines are used in the constructions, paper productions, industries as a source of timber and resin. These are the secondary metabolites which are being extracted from the particular plant on the bark or on the surface of the plant here. Some pine trees are also sources of wood tars and even the resin, as I mentioned you all, and even turpentine and oils, while some produce edible seeds such as pine nuts. Besides these, white, black plants or Himalayan ranges have the stony pines are cultivated as a ornamental pine trees, not only having the medicinal values or extraction of oils or resins, or even in particular resin called umber is prepared by the resin of the pines, and these umber is used in the jewels. Coming to the systematic position of this particular plant pinus: division Coniferophyta, class Coniferopsida, order Coniferales, family Pinaceae, genus Pinus, and there are six species which are reported to India. Those are Pinus valicherina, Pinus armendia, Pinus longifolia, Pinus excellesa, Pinus gardiana, Pinus robusta, etc. So here these are the six important trees which are being recorded in the India. And Sequoia giganteum is the largest tree in the world, and the width of this stem is around about 60 meters from the ground level. Coming to the external morphology of the pinus. Here, pinus is a large perennial evergreen plant and it grows spirally, and thus the plant gives the appearance of a cone-like structure or pyramidal-like structure. And as we know, these gymnosperms are well developed, so they are having the sporophytic plant body, and it is differentiated into root stems and acular needle like leaves. So we can see the spiny like structures or the needle like appearance coming to the leaf of these spines. A taproot with a few root hair is present, but it disappears soon. Later on, many lateral roots develop which help in the absorption and fixation. As we are very familiar with the cycas where the coralloid root is there, in the same way here we are finding the mycorrhizal root where the absorption of the nitrogen fixing bacteria are seen in the roots of the pinus. The ultimate branches of these roots are covered by a covering of fungal hyphae. We can see many network of hyphae in the root of the particular pinus, and they are called as ectotrophic mycorrhiza. I repeat it, ectotrophic mycorrhiza. So this is very clear that these particular pinus are having these specialized roots called the mycorrhizal root here. And not only this, even we can see some of the other characters. The stem is cylindrical and erect and remain covered with bark. A branching is monopodial. Two types of branches are present. It is very important to note here, long shoot and dwarf shoots are the two types of branches. There are also known as branches of limited growth and branches of unlimited growth respectively. Long shoots contain apical bud and growing indefinitely. Many scaly leaves are present on the shoot of the long shoot. Dwarf shoots are devoid of any apical bud and thus are limited in their growth. So they cannot grow further. They arise on the long shoot in the axial of the scaly leaves. And coming to the dwarf shoot, has two scaly leaves called porophylous, followed by the 5 to 13 cataphyllus arranged in 2 to 5 phyllotaxy and 1 to 5 needles. So this is about the external characters here, and we can see the leaves are of two types, as I told you, foliage and scaly leaves. Scaly leaves are thin, brown colored and scale like and develop only on the long as well as dwarf shoots. So here you can see that foliage leaves are acicular, needle like and green. They are also known as needles. This is very important character of these pinus. They are having the needle-like arrangement. They are produced only on the dwarf shoot. So coming to the dwarf shoot here, a dwarf shoot which with a cluster of needle is called as spur shoot or foliar spur. So here we can see the foliage leaves are present at the apex of the dwarf shoot. And foliage leaves are large, needle-like and vary in number from 1 to 15 different species. Depending on the species, we can see there are different types of foliage leaf arrangement. As fir is called as unifoliar if only one leaf is present. In the picture here you can see very clearly the spur of the Pinus Roxburghi. Here you can see it is having the trifoliate condition, as it is having the three scaly leaves here, foliage leaves here, and next one it is having four, that is a spur of Pinus quadrifolia, and last one you can see here in the picture clearly fur of the P, that is a Pinus. P indicates the Pinus, and Welchinia, this is having the 5, that is a pentalocular foliar arrangement of the spur can be easily seen. And see here we can see in the first picture the arrangement of dwarf, and the scaly leaves can also be seen, and the long shoot also. Here this spur shoot, spur is nothing but the dwarf shoot with a cluster of needles is called as a fir shoot or foliar spur. And here in the last picture, that is the third one, you can see at the tip regions the foliage leaves or the needles can be seen here, and the scaly leaves at the bottom level and the long shoots are present. But uniting or the cluster of the dwarf shoot arrangement are called as the fir shoot or the foliar spur. Coming to the leaf here, in the Pinus we can see they are having the two types of leaf. One is a scaly leaf and another one is the foliage leaves. So in detail to know here, both long and dwarf shoots bear scaly leaves and fall off as the branches attain maturity. As it is attaining the maturity, these scaly leaves will be fallen down from the both of the dwarf and the shoot shoot regions. And next one, coming to the foliage leaves, the dwarf shoot bears foliage leaves. The leaves are long, green, simple, needle-like without photosynthetic structure. Here we are not finding any of the photosynthetic structure as they are modified into needle-like structure. They develop in clusters at the apex of the dwarf shoot and can form this fur. Their number varies from 1 to 15 in different species. Based on the species, the arrangement of the needle and the number of needles will vary. So here in the picture you can see here the needle leaves at the top, scaly leaves, dwarf shoot and the long shoot as the before I have showed you all, and here the needle leaves, the arrangement and the taproot system also. Coming to this a particular thing of the internal morphology, and here when we speak about the internal morphology, we have the stem conditions here. The young stem is taken here and the cross section is being seen in the next slide. You can see it clearly and it resembles exactly as that of the dicotyledon stem in many aspects, and it is wavy in outline. In general arrangement of various tissue from the periphery to the center is as follows, and this stem is being differentiated clearly into epidermis, hypodermis, cortex and the endodermis. Outer part, it is the surface, the epidermis is having a single layer of tubercular closed compact parenchymatous cells which are present at the outer part with a thick cuticle. Here as it is the pinus is a xeric conditioned plant, it will have thick cuticle as it doesn't want to lose any of the water content which is present in the plant. Coming to the hypodermis, below the epidermis, a hypodermis layer is present. It consists of a few layers of lignified sclerenchymatous cells. Sclerenchymatous cells are very important as they gives the rigidity to the cells. Cortex, it consists of several layers of parenchymatous cells with copious resin ducts. See, this is very important to be noted in the stem here as the resin ducts are present here. A single layer of resin secreting glandular epithelial cells surround the resin ducts. So here the resin ducts are being seen in the particular stem regions, and the internal morphology where the anatomical section is taken, where the TS of the stem is taken, we can clearly observe the resin ducts under the microscope. Coming to the next one, that is the endodermis. Outside of the pericycle, endodermis is present. It consists of a single layer of parenchyma cells. So here we can see it is that is having the consist of several layer of parenchyma cells as I told you all in the pericycle, and they have the arrangement of vascular bundles. They are conjoint, collateral, open type. Here the open type of vascular bundle can be seen where the cambium is present, arranged in a ring and endark in condition. So between the xylem and the phloem, a narrow strip of cambium is also present. So the xylem is composed of tracheids with broaded pits and xylem brace without vessels, and the phloem is composed of sieve tubes and phloem parenchyma without companion cells. And a special character here in the pinus stem is the stele is ectofolic symphonostele. It is very important to be noted here, that is ectofolic symphonostele. And the pith is composed of mass of parenchyma cells. Pith race, it is composed by a narrow strip of cell running from the pith outwards between the vascular bundle. So the arrangement of these particular stem, that is a young stem, will have the epidermis, hypodermis, cortex and the endodermis, followed by the pericycle with the vascular bundle arrangement with the conjoint, collateral and open type, and the stele is ectofolic symphonostele. And coming to the next one here, you can see here in the picture, it is clearly mentioned, as I told you all before, TS of the stem and the TS of portion enlarge. As I told you all before, these are the resin canals you can see here, and the secondary xylem is present where the cambium is very clear here, and the pith is filled with the parenchyma cells, and the periderm on the upper part, and the secondary phloem with vascular cambium arrangement also. So this is very clear with the stem region here.